Hi, my name is Dr. Robert Schwartz. I'm a research scientist, and I'd like to talk to you on behalf of the Ontario Coalition for Smoke-Free Movies. I know you know that smoking is bad for your health. Really, really bad. In fact, it is by far the leading cause of preventable death. And yet nearly 2 million Ontarians aged 12 and above are still current smokers. Every day, here and around the world, young people will start an addiction that will make them sick and eventually kill them. There isn't just one reason that young people start smoking. Through extensive research, I can tell you that there are many reasons why a young person might smoke. Things like parents or friends who smoke, a risk-taking personality, school performance, or age and gender. But guess what? One big reason that young people start to smoke is watching movies that have smoking in them. That surprises many people. After all, if movies with smoking recruit so many kids to smoke, why is there still so much smoking in movies? Those are good questions. Health researchers all over the world have spent a lot of time figuring this out. First, let's look at the backstory. In the 1990s, 46 U.S. states sued the tobacco industry to recoup healthcare costs. In the course of these lawsuits, they discovered tobacco industry documents that traced millions of dollars paid to place smoking and their brands in hundreds of mainstream Hollywood movies, nearly half of them rated for children. Were the tobacco companies right to put millions into movies? Do movies sell smoking? Were there any movies from your youth that may have influenced you? To try to find out, researchers led by Madeline Dalton and Jim Sargent at the Kids Cancer Center at Dartmouth started organizing experimental and population studies. And here's what they discovered. First, the researchers found that after taking into account all the other risk factors, the kids who saw the most smoking on screen were more than twice as likely to be smokers. In health research, this is called a dose response. The higher the dose, the stronger the effect. In this case, the more smoking the kids saw, the more likely they were to smoke. The second result. A longitudinal survey, which means following the same group over time, indicated that exposure to movie smoking isn't just associated with smoking, it is causally linked to smoking. Kids who were non-smokers at the time of the first survey were smoking by the time of the follow-up survey after being exposed to smoking on screen. The third result. Using the data from all the studies, the researchers were able to look at all the risk factors for smoking and calculate how much of the risk came just from smoking on screen. And studies like this were repeated around the world with the same results. If movies with smoking were restricted, after considering all other risk factors, the risk for youth smoking attributable to smoking in movies would drop from 37% to around 18%. And it's likely that the drop in Canada would be even more. Here's why. Over the last decade in the US, 55% of the exposure to on-screen smoking came from youth-related movies. That's a lot. But in Ontario, it was 87%. That's because movies are rated differently in Canada. Most movies with heavy smoking that are rated R in the US are rated 14 in Ontario, so teens can see them more easily. All of this research evidence supports the need to rate future movies with smoking as only for adult viewers. The World Health Organization and the US Surgeon General back this up. So remember, no one is talking about banning any movies, just making studios make movies with less smoking. An adult rating in the US would avert 1 million projected future tobacco deaths among children alive today. Remember the dose relationship? Because of the movie rating differences, it's quite possible that kids in Ontario are in even greater danger than kids in the US. That's an opportunity to save even more lives. Of the current youth generation in Ontario alone, we are talking about 30,000 lives and over $500 million saved in healthcare costs. So there you are. Now that you get it, ask yourself, what can be done about this? The evidence is clear, and the scientific community agrees. This is a serious problem. Luckily, there are solutions that could drastically reduce the amount of smoking youth see on screen. Ontario movie ratings need to change to save lives. You can help spread the word that smoking in movies can kill. Help protect our children by getting smoking out of movies. Thanks for listening to me. I hope next time you watch a movie with smoking in it, you will ask, who put it there and why did they do it? Change movie ratings. Save lives. SmokeFreeMovies.ca